Well, hello, boys and girls, and
Wow.
welcome. Hi, Santa.
Hi,
It's good to see
Sunny.
you. Yes. Hi, Santa. Great to see you. How you doing today?
I am doing fine, thank you. It is getting close to Christmas. We
It
are getting really
absolutely is.
excited up here. It's getting busy. I've
That's right.
lost count of the days, actually.
Well, we are going to do our Christmas countdown in just a little bit. But
Whoa,
yeah,
that'll
Santa,
help me.
it's already December. This is the first
It
show we've
is, yes.
done since it's been December.
I can feel it in the air.
I know. Well, we could feel it in the air up here at the North Pole for a long time because it's been a bit chilly for a while now.
Yeah, it's just chilly. It hasn't gotten real cold yet.
That's true. Well, boys and girls, if you are just joining us for the first time, welcome to Christmasful. This is a live show that Santa and I do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. The times change a little bit, so you do want to check out our website, which is christmasful.com, to get all of that information. But we do this because we want to connect with you. We know that this year is a little bit weird with everything that's going on down below the Arctic Circle. And so Santa and I wanted to make sure you had plenty of time to visit, even though you might not be able to do it in person, right, Santa?
That's right. This is your chance to talk to Santa. It won't cost you a dime.
That's right. And so this is a good time, Santa, to remind them that anytime you guys want to comment or you want to ask Santa a question, you can do that because we are broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, as well as Twitter. So if you see our video there, all you have to do, you probably want to ask your mom or dad or your grandma or your grandpa for permission, but go ahead and comment or have them do it for you. And then we'll answer your questions, or we can even bring up comments on the screen, which is really fun as well. So go ahead and post your comments. Santa's going to be on the lookout for that. And I'm going to lead you guys through today's show. But I wanted to remind you that because we do these episodes of Christmasful every week, we want to make sure that you don't miss any of our episodes. So the best way to find out about this is by getting these notifications. So if you're on Facebook, you can click that little get reminder button, or again, have your mom or dad do this for you. And then on YouTube, you can subscribe to our videos. We do broadcast these live on YouTube, and then all the videos are up there. So if you miss an episode, you can go back and you can watch it on YouTube. And Santa, I also wanted to remind everyone about our podcast because we do a ton of stuff here at the North Pole, including a podcast we've been doing for a few years now called Millennial Santa. Santa, you want to tell us more about that?
Yes, Sonny. We started Millennial Santa about 3 years ago. And it was about the same time we actually started KELF up here at the North Pole. And Sonny was our first producer and our announcer up there for it. And all of a sudden, one day she got a phone call from a little boy, Urban, down in the North America. And he had some questions for Santa. And I was immediately taken back by it. And I thought, well, that's kind of nice. Maybe we can do a broadcast and answer some of the questions children had for me. And we did quite a few. I think we did 100 different episodes or close to that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
And
that's how it got started.
We're still releasing new episodes. I think a couple of days ago, Santa, is when we hit episode 100. And so I believe today's episode was 102. I think we released episode 102 today. And boys and girls, we're just going to keep going because you guys have a lot of fun questions. And Santa and I really like answering them. So if you want to, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Again, ask your parents. They probably know how to do that. But we have these short little episodes that come out every day now through Christmas. We actually started this on November 15th. So we've been doing this for a couple weeks already, but the episodes are nice, short, and sweet. In fact, if you have a question and you want to be part of the podcast, you can also go to our website. And if your parents say it's okay, you can record a message for Santa. And then if you ask a question, we can use that on our podcast so you can actually hear your voice on our podcast. How cool is that? So again,
Wow.
new episodes coming out every day. Don't miss it. It is a ton of fun.
Hey,
All right.
I just got a note and looks like a young lady, Emmy, would like to know if she's going to get her Barbie road trip set with the pink car.
Oh, well,
Well,
let's go
I was
ahead.
looking back here in the list and stuff, and Emmy, I think there's a pretty good chance that you may be able to get that. And I want to thank Maya, for getting a hold of us.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you look forward to it. You got to stay good, okay, Emmy? And don't stay on my nice list and do some good things out there.
That's right.
Kind of like pay it forward.
That reminds me, Santa, a little bit later on in the show, we have a special segment called Acts of Kindness. And we're
Good.
going to give kids some ideas of nice things they can do for their parents, for grandma and grandpa, for aunts and uncles, or their siblings, brothers and sisters, in order to make the holiday season just a little bit more bright. So, Maya and Emmy, thank you so much for that question. Keep them coming, guys. If you guys post them, I'll go ahead and I'll bring them into our conversation here. And it's always a lot of fun. So, Santa, we talked about we've got our countdown, right? So, we'd like to kick off these episodes of Christmasful with our Christmas countdown. So, here we go.
Tick tock, it's time to count down to Christmas.
22 days, Santa.
Whoa,
Woo!
22 days. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun this year.
Yes,
We're
it
going to
is.
have fun. Even though it's not a bright out there in the world below the Arctic Circle, we're going to try to make it just a little bit more brighter this Christmas.
That's right.
So.
And I feel like once we get into December, I feel like things go like lightning fast from here on out.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
you're right.
You blink and it's Christmas Eve. Probably the same thing for a lot of moms and dads out there probably feel like that too. But this is a great time. This is a great time where a lot of people are putting up their Christmas lights, right? Or maybe going to get their Christmas tree and putting it up, in their home. And oh my goodness. Well, you guys see my Christmas tree in the background. So I love those white lights. I don't know what it is. There's something about white lights, but it makes me feel like warm and fuzzy. It's like the similar feeling of like a fireplace, like a really nice, warm, cozy fire. It actually makes me feel warm. I don't know if that's just me, but I like my white lights. So we have a lot of white lights, especially up here at the KELF studios, which is where I am. And Santa, where are you at today in the North Pole?
I'm up in my office above the reindeer stables. So if you hear some noises, it could either be the reindeer coming back from their exercise period, or it could be the teams of dog sledders I got down there. So it gets a little noisy, but my office is way up here on top, so it's a little quieter, and it's a little quieter than it is at home with Mrs. Claus running all over and doing so many things. This gives me a chance I call it my Santa cave. So I can go up here. I got a lot of my books and I can read and sit around and drink hot cocoa and nobody bothers me.
That sounds like a plan. I like that. I like the Santa cave. Well, Santa in his Santa cave, let's go ahead and tell the boys and girls what's coming up on today's show. So Santa, we are going to talk a little bit about NORAD Santa, which is a website that boys and girls can go to find out a little bit more about your trek on Christmas Eve. And that site just launched for the year. They kind of, put it on hold throughout, the normal months, if you will. And then as we get closer and closer to Christmas, they open it up. So they just open it up. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We are going to make a Christmas craft. Well, actually, we've already made our craft. We kind of learned our lesson here on Christmasful. Trying to do live Christmas crafts is a bit of a challenge, right, Santa?
It's fun to watch, but
maybe for you. But we do. We have a fun Christmas craft we're going to make today. We're going to show you what we made. And our little elves, Ainsley and Addie, are going to be joining us for that. And then, like I said earlier, we are going to talk a little bit about acts of kindness. And this is a new segment that we have on Christmasful. And Santa and I talk about this a lot, especially on our podcast. But we, boys and girls, we really want you to know that Christmas isn't about money, and it's not about presents, really. When we want to do nice things
Oh,
for people. Go ahead,
it's
Santa.
about giving. The whole
Yeah.
spirit of Christmas is about giving. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, one of the things that we say a lot up here at the North Pole, it is better to give than it is to receive. And sometimes we have to remind each other because we get that kind of a feeling, that I want feeling.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody gets it. Even the elves get it every so often. So we all have to remind each other that it is far better to give than it is to receive.
It is. And so
That's
one of
what
the
Christmas is
ways,
all about.
that's right. And one of the ways, boys and girls, that you can give is by doing nice things for people. Okay. And it doesn't mean that they have to do something nice for you in return, right? We want to have this spirit of giving and just being nice to each other and being kind to one another. So we're going to give you some ideas of things that you can do. It doesn't cost any money, but nice things that you can do for the people that you love, just to make their day just a little bit special. Okay. So let's talk about NORAD. Santa, why don't we tell everyone what NORAD is and how you work with them each year?
Okay, well, NORAD, I came across it back in 1955. And NORAD is the North American Aerospace Defense Command. Now, that sounds pretty military, doesn't it?
It
Well, it
does.
is. It is very military. And it's a combination basically of United States of America and Canada. They've got together and they decided that they wanted to make sure that nobody was going to shoot any missiles at them. There was a time back in the 60s that everybody wanted to shoot missiles at each other. Made it kind of hard to fly around on Christmas Eve, worrying about that. But they do that. They monitor the skies above North America. And part of that's the Arctic Circle. I catch them every so often trying to monitor what I'm doing up there. But they have satellites in space, and they have radar stations all over. And so that's how they got a hold of me. That one Christmas I was up there and I got Rudolph hitched up to the team. And you know about Rudolph and his red nose. Well, they had got all their satellites and all their radars up there, and they have infrared radars. Well, they picked up Rudolph's nose, and they couldn't figure out what it was. Next thing I know, I'm flying along, just chubby and happy with the 8 reindeers and Rudolph. And the next thing I know, I got 2 fighter escorts on either side.
Oh, no.
And I'm kind of like, whoops, Of course, I'm not flying that fast, so I was kind of surprised they could go that slow. But anyway, they were up there, and when I touched down, I talked to them all, and they says, well, we noticed Rudolph right away. He says, we don't notice you that much because you don't give off any signal. And I says, well, no. I said, I got a wooden sleigh. I says, 8 reindeer. I says, there's not a whole lot of metal here. So, since then, they kind of monitor us with Rudolph on Christmas. The rest of the year, they don't bother us much because sometimes I just don't have Rudolph with me, and we're out flying around and nobody even knows we're there. So that makes it pretty good. But they've been putting it on the internet since the late 90s, I think it is. And children have been able to watch it on the internet. They even put it on TV sometimes.
Right.
So children have been able to watch it on the internet, and they can see where I am in certain areas around the world, mostly around the North American continent, but they got satellites all over now, so they're tracking me. So that's what they are. They're a real good organization. They're a defense organization for the North American continent and the people that live there.
Yeah. And they have this whole website now where boys and girls, you can go and you can check it out. It's noradsanta.org. Again, get your parents' permission before you do any of this. But yeah, so what's really nice about this is, especially on Christmas Eve, they will track where Santa is in the sky. So if you're wondering when you should go to bed, Santa may have another idea of that, but you definitely got to be in bed before Santa comes to your house, right, Santa?
Oh, that's right. I'll have the elves checking on you. That's for sure.
Yeah, so that's NORAD Santa. And if you go to Christmasful.com, which let me see. Oh, I definitely have that here. I can put that up for you. If you go to Christmasful.com, which is our website, we actually have a little box. If you scroll down on the main page, we have a little box that can take you right over to NORAD Santa. Okay, so
Oh,
if you want
that's
to check
cool.
that out, yeah, we're
Makes
linking
it
straight to
easier.
that. Makes it
Kind of
easier.
like one-stop information.
That's right. We're a
Yeah.
one-stop shop here at KELF and
Okay.
Christmasful. Well, Santa,
That's right.
we do have some questions from boys and girls specifically about it's kind of related to NORAD, so and your flight on Christmas Eve. So I thought maybe now would be a good time to bring those up. So I'll go ahead and put those up here on the screen. All right. Here's the first question. Lisa asks, how many hours does it take you to deliver presents on Christmas Eve?
Whoa, Lisa, that is a secretive question, but I will try to answer it as much as I can. It actually takes me a little almost 24 hours to deliver. And I start at the international date line, which is way out in the Pacific Ocean. And actually, the closest islands there that I know of that you may know of are Fiji. And those are the first ones to actually get their presents. From there, I travel and I keep traveling against time. That's why it takes, so I'll be out there Christmas Eve on that time, but I keep traveling and I travel 24 hours until today here is yesterday there. Okay, and that's how it works. Matter of fact, when I finish, it's today here, but it was yesterday there. So I travel for a full 24 hours. It's a little bit of science. Go up and Google it. You can Google the international time zones, and it'll give you an idea. Actually, NORAD even has it on their website, and it tells a little bit about it. So if you go to that, you can find out. I got another question. I got it from Tara Fred here. It says, Santa, my son just asked me, what's your favorite Christmas movie? Wow. I really do like them all, but I have to say the one I like the best is Miracle on 34th Street.
That's a good
That's
one.
been my all-time favorite, and I've really liked that one. And I also got one here from Debbie Magni. It says, Santa, what's your I've answered this one all over.
I know,
I mean,
I know.
Santa, what's your favorite cookie? My goodness. That's, matter of fact, Debbie, I tell you what, you go read Millennial Santa. I got that question answered completely in there, but I will answer it for you here. Chocolate chip cookies. I like
Mhm.
chocolate chip cookies because every mother out there makes them just a little bit different.
That's right.
And there's so many different variations. I never get tired of chocolate chip cookies. And, ask Mrs. Claus. It really goes to the waist.
Well, you work it off though. You're a busy guy.
Yeah,
You
I
can
don't
get that
waste
done.
cookies.
No, no, never. All right, we got another
They
question,
go,
Santa. This one is from
okay.
Benjamin. This is again kind of focused on traveling and stuff. Santa, what do you do when the weather is really bad?
Whoa, Benjamin, when the weather gets bad, I try to avoid it. It's it can be very difficult at times, and it can be very discouraging sometimes for some of the children. I was looking at some of my notes here, and it says I remember back in what was it, the 1929. Well, actually, in 1888, we had some very, very bad storms up in the North American continent, big blizzards. But in 1929, Texas Texas. Now you imagine this, the home of the Steers and Cowboys.
Yeah.
They had over 26 inches of snow. It was snowing in Texas, made it real difficult for me to get around up there, but we got through it. And then we go through and we look at 1947. We had the Great Blizzard of New York up
Mm.
in that one. That made it real difficult. They had something like, I don't know, 26 inches or something. Now, it's not just North America that has these problems. In 1974, Cyclone Tracy hit Australia, and they had 120-mile-an-hour winds. Now, if you were listening to my show the other day, you know that when we cross the southern hemisphere, we're down there, it's not cold, it's summer.
Yeah.
So these cyclones are like big hurricanes, and they go through there. And I'll tell you what, the wind blows, it blows 120 miles an hour. It's hard to stand on a rooftop. Trust me.
Yeah.
Don't try it. And, and you go on there, and then, 1999. Oh, I'll never forget that one. Lothan and Martin swept through France, Germany, and Switzerland. These are two big storms. Again, they came from the Atlantic, and a lot of people in North America think the storms from Atlantic come up and they hit New Orleans or they hit Florida and stuff. Well, they get a lot of them, and during the Christmas time, these storms, instead of going west, they went east.
Yeah.
And they hit France, Germany, Switzerland. It was a mess trying to get around that. And that's right at Christmas time.
Right.
And so you can imagine it. And it wasn't, it was cold. It was windy. It wasn't snowing much, but it gets bad. So a lot of times my elves, NORAD, they help me a little bit. The Weather Service, they kind of give me hints. And of course, I got Elvis. Elvis keeps track of all that in the sleigh.
That's
So,
right.
we may start out on a steady path and rerouting for a different reason, one reason or another, to go around the storms or see if we can bypass them. And if we cannot deliver presents because of a storm or something, we will make sure that our ground teams will deliver the presents to the families, probably through the parents. And we get the parents on our side, and they really help out a lot in those cases. And if that doesn't work, if it's just one of those really bad deals, we try to make it up later on. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that was from Benjamin. We've got one more, Santa.
Benjamin, okay.
Yeah, before we go on, we got one more question. This one is from Caleb. Caleb wants to know, this is my kind of question, Caleb. Do you ever get hungry while you're delivering all your presents?
Caleb, that is a funny joke. Actually, I saw this before the show, and I mentioned it to Mrs. Claus. And the first thing she said is, Santa, with all those cookies you eat, how can you get hungry? And I said, that's the problem. I said, I eat so much on Christmas Eve. I got expandable suit and expandable belt. But no, Caleb, I'm sorry. I just don't get hungry. I mean, traveling around the world, I think I mentioned it too on one of my Millennial Santa questionnaires. And but I travel around the world. I get to feast not only on cookies. Cookies seem to be a biggie up in North America and Japan, China.
Okay.
They're big on cookies. I go travel North America, but down to Mexico, it's tamales. I'm telling you, I love the tamales. So it's a break from the sweets, but I get tamales. And traveling around the world, I get different treats from different people. And the children always lay out something nice for me. But I don't have to worry about getting hungry. Not at all.
Yeah. Maybe have you ever gotten like a little bit of a belly ache or anything like that from all the cookies? Because I would think maybe that could happen.
No, I've been in training quite a while. I can handle this.
Okay. Very true. All right. Well, boys and girls, thank you so much for those questions. And if you're watching us live, you can go ahead and comment below the video and we'll continue to answer your questions. It doesn't have to be about Santa's flight. It could be about anything, but these are some questions that kids submitted that were specifically related to the flight. So I thought since we were talking about NORAD Santa, that it would be a good fit. So keep those questions coming. All right, Santa, it is time for our next segment, which is Christmas crafts.
Wrap the glue and ribbon too. Here's a Christmas craft for you.
Okay, so our Christmas craft today, we have a couple of elves. Am I entertaining you?
Yes, you are, Sonny. You always entertain me. I have so much fun coming to the studio. I should
I'm
be
a
doing
dancer.
this in the studio. We'd have so much fun.
Yeah, my
But I'm
ranger
up here in
name
my
is
little.
Dancer. We have some little elves that we're gonna bring onto the program. It is Ainsley and Addie. Hello, little elves. How are you?
Good.
Hi. All right. So Addie is on the left-hand side, and Ainsley is on the right-hand side. So Addie, wave your hand so everyone knows who you are, and Ainsley, wave your hand. So everyone knows who you are. Yay! Okay, so you guys did a special Christmas craft, right?
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to show everybody what the finished product looks like. Hang on. I'm going to show a picture first, okay? Ta-da! Okay, we made toilet paper snowmen or snowman. I guess if you only have one snowman. You got more than one, it's snowmen. But I love these because it's super easy to do. Now, I'll bring that picture back up in just a little bit. Okay, but girls, okay, show us what you got. Look at that. Hold it up a little bit. Maybe turn it around so we can see the face. Okay, so let's go through and tell everybody step by step what we did, okay? So go ahead.
First, if you have an extra toilet paper roll, you can paint it white, and then if you want, you can glue on googly eyes, and then for the nose, we painted orange.
Okay, yeah, show it to us as you're talking about it. Go ahead and show us and like point to it so we know what you're talking about. So you started with the toilet paper roll, okay? And then you painted that white. That was the first step.
Yeah, and then we glued on some googly eyes.
Okay.
And then for the carrot, we painted it orange. It looks like yellow, but
It looks good. It looks like an orangish, yellowish color. Yeah. Addie, let's see yours. Addie, hold up yours too so we can see it, honey. There you go. Okay, so that's just paint. So it's googly eyes.
And then we did some dots of black to be for the mouth. And then this, I think, this glitter, I think it's like a bow or
it's like a little scarf. It looks like your snowman's wearing a little scarf, right?
Yeah, and then we painted little dots, and that was for the mouth.
For the mouth. Addie speaks. She speaks. Addie, tell us about. It looks like the snowmen have little earmuffs. Yeah. Tell us about that, Addie.
If you have I think this string.
Okay. It looks like pipe cleaner.
And then if you have glittery balls, pom-poms, you can choose whatever color it looks like.
Yeah, that's a good point. So with that scarf and with the earmuffs that you make, you can do whatever colors you want. Like you guys have glittery stuff, but you could do striped, you could do polka dots, right? You could do whatever you wanted to. And then it looks like those can sit on a flat surface, right? Like they can sit on a desk or something. Yeah, we can't see it, but that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they can sit there. Yeah. So what did you think about the project? What did you like about it? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part of these because it looks like really
Little ear
earmuffs.
muffs. What about you, Addie? What's your favorite part?
I like the part where we did this red glittery scarf and green. You can choose whatever any color.
Well,
Yeah.
your elves are so talented. It is really amazing.
What do you think, guys? You think you're talented?
Yes, but these are not elves.
Yeah, and what you lack in talent, you make up for in cuteness. You're probably my cutest elves that I can think of right now.
Our little elf twins, Ainsley
Yes.
and Addie, our little elf twins. So, girls, why don't you hold it up to the camera? Let's look at it one more time. The little snowman. Okay. Yeah, let's look at it one more. There we go. Good job. All right. Yeah, that was a nice, simple craft. It probably took, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes because you do have to let
No, it took like 10 minutes or like if you want to do it quick, it would maybe take 5 minutes.
Well, you do have to let the paint dry is the thing. You got to paint it,
Yes.
and then you got to like set it so it can dry.
Yeah,
But that's
while you're waiting, you can like watch TV.
That's right.
Like wait,
That's right.
or like what?
Or you could watch a
maybe
Christmas
with
movie.
your dog
Yeah.
or your cat or your fish.
That's right. You can play with your
Or your
pet.
elf if you have your elf.
Yes, or your elf on the shelf, although you're not supposed to touch those, but
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hey, what are handles?
All
They're
right.
here.
All right.
Okay.
I got a Tara wrote a couple things here, and she was asking me if I could choose one thing to be left for a snack. I mean, I like cookies. That's pretty much it. I mean, but if you really want to be helpful, don't leave carrots for the reindeer. I really would appreciate that. It gives them gas. Graham crackers are really a good substitute for that. Reindeer have kind of a sweet tooth, and it actually makes their eyes bluer. I don't know how graham crackers can make their eyes bluer, but they like graham crackers, and it doesn't give them gas.
Well, who doesn't like graham crackers? I love them.
That's right. I love graham crackers. They're kind of like cookies.
Ainsley and Addie, you don't like graham crackers?
I do because
Yeah.
they put it on Nutella.
Oh,
Yeah, you take graham
Nutella.
crackers and you put chocolate on it and you put marshmallows on it, and you got a thing called, what is that called?
Well, it's kind of like a s'more-ish kind of thing. but not
S'mores.
quite.
Yeah, s'mores.
S'more.
That's what it's called.
S'more. It's s'more,
Yeah.
isn't it?
S'more. S'mores? Is there S on that, or is it just?
It's not a sh. It's a sm. It's a s'more.
It's a sm.
It's a s'more. Right, girls?
Okay,
It's
I'll work on that. I'll work on that.
All right. Well, Ainsley and Addie, thank you so much for being with us today. It was great seeing you guys. We'll have to invite you back when we're doing another fun group activity, okay?
I always enjoy seeing you both. Take care.
Bye,
Be
girls.
good little elves.
Super cute. Okay. You never know what's going to happen when you bring on Ainsley and Addison,
No,
our,
you
our
don't.
little
No.
elf twins. Never know.
Whatever happens is cute.
Yeah, that's right. All right, time for our last segment, Santa. This is Acts of Kindness.
Be kind, be fair, and share. This is how you show you care.
Okay, so it's really important, boys and girls. We talked about this a little bit earlier in the show, but we want you guys to start thinking about things that you can do this holiday season to brighten someone's day, because everybody, it doesn't matter how great of a day you're having, everybody would love for someone to do something kind for them, something nice for them. And as little boys and girls, we know giving gifts and stuff like that, you're probably going to need mom and dad's help with that. But there are little things that you can do to make someone's day a little bit brighter. And so, Santa, I thought we'd go through just a couple ideas. Maybe we'll just kind of chat about these a little bit, give the boys and girls some ideas of what they can do.
I got a head full of ideas.
Oh, yeah. There's lots of things. And
Well,
we'll
actually,
keep
I got a
doing that.
whole heart full of ideas too. So
Oh,
those are more
that's cute.
important.
That's right. Well, let's go ahead and bring up our first one. So, one act of kindness, boys and girls, you can do is do a chore without anyone knowing. Emphasis on the last part, without anyone knowing. Because, boys and girls, you may have chores that you're supposed to do around the house, but if mom or dad have to tell you over and over again to do your chores, then that doesn't quite count, right, Santa?
That's right. That's right. You need to do them without being asked, and without people knowing it. So yeah, it's a good idea. Do extra chores.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do something nice. That's what it's all about. I've often, it's been nice sometimes. I had a young man help me out at the store the other day. I was out looking for presents for Mrs. Claus, and very helpful. He was a young man, and he smiled, and he was very courteous, and it made me feel good. It really did, and those are important things. He went out of his way to help me, and I appreciate that. And I remember a lot of times when I was younger and I had children at home. It was nice when the children did special little things. It wasn't big, just little things.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes it's like, Dad, can I get you a glass of water or something?
Yeah, it can just
Things
be
like that.
little
Yeah.
things. That's right. Debbie agrees with us. Debbie says, "Love this segment. Acts of kindness are so important." Absolutely.
Another act of kindness that you don't think about, I see it all the time here at
Yeah.
the North Pole. Mrs. Claus. I'll get up in the morning, and I'm having my tea and I'm trying to wake up. And Mrs. Claus comes in, usually about half hour later. I'm on my second cup of tea, and she tells me a joke.
Aw.
Now, Mrs. Claus tells jokes, and you can't help but laugh.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, my day's just a little bit brighter,
Mhm.
and you don't have to be real smart to tell jokes, but even some of the funnier jokes, like why'd the chicken cross the street, or the knock knock jokes. I've always
Oh, I
kind of
love
loved those
knock-knock jokes.
myself. Yeah, knock knock jokes is
Yeah.
one thing. Another little thing that means a lot to people is a smile. And
Mm.
especially in this day and age, and I've noticed this because I'll go down below the Arctic Circle and I'm out at stores and I'm in malls and I check out things. I check out people. I watch them. And I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Everybody else is wearing a mask. Well, if you smile, how does anybody know?
Aw, it's true.
But it's true, you do. If you look into a person's eyes, even if you're wearing a mask up to the nose and around the nose and on top of the nose, you can still look into the eyes and you can see the smile.
Yeah.
So try that sometime when you put your mask on, smile and see what difference it makes in your eyes.
Yeah.
And then when you see people, anybody, older people really like it a lot better. But anybody, just smile at them and they'll see it in your eyes.
Mhm.
Say hi and wish them a happy day. Those
Yeah.
are little things. They don't cost anything. It's not even hard to do, but it's
Yeah.
important to do. It really is, you
Yeah.
know, and it spreads love. And that's one of the big things about Christmas that, we like to spread. So you got some more ideas there, Sonny?
We absolutely do. So we've talked about some of these in the past, but picking up litter. So this is a good thing, boys and girls, if you're out and about, and you see something, you may want to ask your mom and dad, okay, because you don't want to pick up anything that, is
Yeah.
dangerous, of course. But there's things like cups and things like that sometimes people don't even realize that they've littered, or maybe it was in a trash can and then, some wind came along and I don't know, maybe it kind of fell out of the trash can or whatever. But doing little things like that, even like in your neighborhood, sometimes, I know when kids like to play and you like to get together with the other boys and girls in the neighborhood, sometimes, you're having fun and maybe you're eating some crackers crackers, and you've got your juice box, and the whole spread, right? Everything right in front of you, and you're playing with your dolls or your bikes. And then when it's time to go inside, sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget to pick up after ourselves. So picking up anything like that isn't supposed to be on the ground will not only make mom and dad happy, but it also makes our planet more beautiful. And we have to take care of that, right, Santa?
That's right. That is absolutely right. And that is a good thing to be. Picking up litter. I've been in different countries. Canada is a good one. I went to one time, I was in Vancouver, and I was walking around just kind of taking in the sights and so on. And I noticed that a lot of people would see something on the street, pick it up and throw it in the garbage. They just pick it up and throw it in the garbage, even if it wasn't their trash. Sure. And to me, I impressed that. That impressed me because they're doing something to make their environment a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner, and they're also helping the earth. That's and nice. I get around and I watch, there's young people out cleaning up the beaches. And there's a couple groups that I've watched when I fly over the oceans that are cleaning up the oceans even.
Oh, wow.
Because there's a lot of stuff there. But at home, even the children, picking up your socks, putting them in the laundry basket, don't leaving stuff around. That makes mom and dad's job just a little bit easier.
That's right.
And it makes them a little bit happier. And I'm telling you, I've lived with this my whole life. When mom's happy, everybody's happy. That goes around the North Pole is exactly like that. When Mrs. Claus is happy, Mrs. Claus is happy, the whole North Pole is happy. Trust me.
That's right. And Santa, we have one more that we wanted to share.
Okay.
And sometimes we overlook this, but boys and girls, if you have books at home, your local library is always in need of books. And, sometimes you buy a book and it's, it works for you at that age, but then, you read and you read and you read and you get really, really smart. And then you maybe don't need the books that you needed like a year ago or 2 years ago. So that's what we mean by collecting books for your local library. Now, you may want to call in advance because I know down below the Arctic Circle, there are some rules because of the sickness and stuff that's going on. So you do want to be careful with that. But even if you can't donate right now, just kind of set them to the side. But libraries are always looking for books, right, Santa?
Oh, that's right. And there's a lot of children out there that don't have computers, don't have iPads, don't have any of those things, and actually do the old-fashioned way and read books. And I myself, I like to read. I mean, I do get on my computers and stuff like that, but I do like to read. And matter of fact, I may even do some reading here on this show. I have a couple books that I may read some parts of that I find that are very encouraging to young people and older people alike.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like fun. I'm excited to hear you read. No, we have done some reading on the show already with our story time, right? We've had Irby the elf come on and do some reading with us, but we haven't read with Santa yet. So sounds to me like that might be in our future.
I got, Debbie even said, she says lots of, I can't have my glasses on.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I put it up on the screen.
Okay, you got it. Yeah, a lot of at-risk children in schools in low-income areas, they don't have. There's a lot of children that just don't have the things that we have, or a lot of people have. A lot of children, I mean, they're watching this on a computer more than likely,
right?
Or on YouTube, which is on a computer. That's all on computers. And a lot of children just don't have that, and they don't get new toys. Some of them can't even write to me. I mean, sometimes it's a problem getting to children and getting them the toys and things they need. Also, I noticed, I was talking earlier about the weather, and a lot of children in the United States, they went through some very terrific storms here this last year. Oh, I don't know. I was watching some of the weather, and they had 2 or 3 hurricanes hit, Louisiana and Texas and those areas. And they not only do they hit, they flood everything, and they children lose all their toys, they lose their dolls, they lose their teddy bears. If you got toys that you're not using, and I hope you take care of all your toys, but that you're not using, bag them up or box them up. There's going to be children out there that would really appreciate some of those toys. And it's far better to give than it is to receive. So remember that. You'll be giving gifts to children that really, really need it. And, that's important. Also important is to give your parents a hug every day. Tell them you love them. I get Mrs. Claus the other day. We've been busy around here, and Mrs. Claus, I was getting another cup of tea, and she came in, and it was before she could tell me a joke. And, I looked at her, and I felt so lucky to have a beautiful Mrs. Claus and so nice. I just gave her a big hug, and she got a tear in her eye, and she goes, Santa, you haven't hugged me in a long time. And I thought about it, and I go, I've been so busy that I haven't. And sometimes we forget that. So hug your mom and dad, hug your brother and sister if you can without getting socked in the nose for it. And brothers and sisters are like that. But, a good hug, a thank you, praise once in a while, that helps. It's all nice things that make everybody a little happier.
Well, Tara has a comment, and the comment may be a little too long to put on the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and read it. So this was a great idea. She says, my son started a tradition 5 years ago that they would bake Christmas Eve day a whole bunch of goodies. She says cookies, cakes, cupcakes, and homemade candies. Yeah, see, it's really big. And then we could go around on Christmas Eve and give it to different fire stations in the area, as well as look for officers that are out working Christmas Eve and not with family. This year, because of COVID, we are instead making boxes for veterans and troops overseas.
That is really good. And that's something the whole family can do. It's all about giving and giving back to those who don't have. The men and women of our military, our police officers, our nurses and doctors that are in hospitals, many of them won't see much of Christmas at all because they'll be working. They'll be saving lives. They'll be protecting lives. Yeah. And anything that we could do for them is great. It is fantastic. And it, in some cases, it's far better that it comes from you than coming from Santa.
Yes.
I mean, I do this all year long. I try to give and stuff. But when you give, it actually is more from the heart. And that's what's important. You're giving to these people, and they appreciate it more. I mean, they appreciate it when they get things from Santa, but still, it appreciate it when they get it from their fellow neighbors and the people in their communities. Yeah. So keep up the good work, Tara, and keep your sons, working on this. And he in turn, when he grows up, will have his sons and daughters involved in that. So I appreciate those things.
Well, you guys had such good ideas. I want to let you know that if you send us those kind of, comments and things like that for these segments that we do, because we're going to be talking about acts of kindness throughout the Christmas season, you guys can go to our website at Christmasful.com and you can go to Santa Mail. It's one of the main links at the top, and you can send us an email. Tell us your stories. Tell us about some of the cool things that you're doing, because, it's great for us to hear that. It makes us feel all warm and fuzzy, but you may be giving someone else an idea of what could work in their neighborhood. And so go ahead and send those in through our website at Christmasful.com. So hopefully
I look forward to hearing from everybody. Debbie and Tara, I thank you for joining us on our show today. It was really nice to hear from you. I think I had one other person, and Debbie and Tara. Oh yeah, Doreen. She had a comment. I'm not going to repeat it here necessarily. It was talking about the elves and stuff. So, but
you guys, throughout these live shows, you can send us comments, and we love chatting with you. So keep those comments coming. And it's just a great way that we can interact. So Santa, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Get it? Wrap, Christmas
wrap. Okay, well, before we go, I have one thing that I do want to say.
Okay.
And I want everybody to remember to keep the spirit of Christmas in their heart throughout the year. Please.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have some reminders for you guys before we take off as well. And that is if you want to follow us, if you want to follow Christmasful, there's some ways you can do that. You may be watching us on Facebook, but that's one of the ways. You can also check us out on Instagram. That's our handle. And then Twitter as well. We post a lot of fun photos, some behind the scenes stuff, some graphics and fun stuff that you don't see just when watching us live. So be sure to check us out there. And I mentioned this earlier, but we do have those notifications so you can check the reminders and you can subscribe. And that way you never miss a live episode of Christmasful. And then, of course, got to tell them, Santa, about the podcast. So remember, Millennial Santa is the podcast. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But that is a daily podcast that Santa and I do. And we started on November 15th. And we do this all the way through Christmas Day. And these are short 3 to 5 minute episodes where kids ask Santa questions and then we answer the questions. And yeah, you get to learn a little bit more about the North Pole, just like you do here in Christmasful. So lots of good ways.
No question is too small.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, Santa, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, boys and girls. And we're going to see you back here on Saturday.
Ho, ho, ho.